In today's video, we're going to be looking at how can you move your calendar bookings into InfoLobby. So it doesn't matter which calendar tool you use, cal.com or calendar.com, you want to have your calendar bookings every time you have it from the calendar come straight to InfoLobby. So we're going to be doing this using the webhook feature. All of these tools have their own feature. Now, here's an example of my cal.com portfolio, and you can see there's a meeting called InfoLobby meeting. All right. And here is my link. So every time somebody goes ahead and books a meeting in here, I want this meeting to go to InfoLobby directly. Within InfoLobby, here I've got a simple calendar view. It's a plain table with just like 5 fields where you've got the title, start time, end time, type, and status. All right. First things first. Within your, calendar tool, there's going to be a webhook feature where you can, in cal.com, it's here. You go ahead and find it, and then you can create a new webhook. What webhook does is that webhook basically just shouts that, like, hey, I've got a new meeting, or hey, I've got a new, cancellation, or whatever that is. Here are the triggers, events. Events is whatever that particular event is, either booking is cancelled, booking is created, rejected, requested, whatever it is. For this particular examples, we're just going to be looking at booking created. All right, so I'm going to clear all of this and then just look for booking created. Some people, keep all the triggers and collect all the information. To make this example pretty easy, I'm just going to keep one of this, booking created. All right. The next thing we want to do is get a link. So for any webhook, you need a link. So within InfoLobby, whichever table you're going to be saving it, you can go to your settings and automations. In here, you can create a new automation, and among the triggers, you can choose webhook as the trigger. All right. And then go ahead and save a name. I'm going to say this as save cal.com events. Pretty straightforward. Activate the automation, save it, and go back inside, and now you will find a public URL. All right. You can copy this, go back to your calendar tool, put it here, and create a webhook. And now we are ready to go. So what we have just established is that whenever there is a meeting booked in cal.com is going to shout out telling, hey, I've got a new meeting through this URL. And then within InfoLobby, we are going to listen to that URL, and then now we have that information. All right. And then once we get the information, we just need to have an automation in place to save it. Within cal.com, they have got a test feature. It's called ping test. You can just click that, and then you can see that webhook response is passed, which means that it has shouted that, oh, I've got a thing, and over there somebody has received it. Now, if you go to your automation, I'm going to just refresh here. You can see that there is a log and there is a history. So you can see that a ping test has come through. You can see that ping test has come through. Perfect. Now, within InfoLobby, I cancel this and show you. This is how the payload looks like. Now, depending on what kind of, a webhook feature you're using, sometimes your payload might come in get, sometimes it might come in post. In this particular example, it is coming inside the body. All right. So I'm going to go ahead, create a variable, and extract the data. I'm going to call the variable name as data. And then if you notice here in the logs, within the body, where's the body? Within the body, data is coming as a text. It doesn't look like it is a JSON because you can see all these extra characters. It is text. So I'm going to do a JSON decode. JSON decode is a simple PHP function which basically takes the payload, in our case it is webhook body, and then converts it into a proper variable. Now we have got the data. Let's just quickly run it. If you go to console, you'll see that data has 3 things. It has got the trigger event. What is the trigger? Since we did a ping test, it's ping. And then we have the payload. Okay. So second thing we want is the start time and end time. So I'm going to create a new variable and call it start time. Now, if you notice in here, the time is coming out like this. So first, let's understand what this time is. For this purpose, you can use ChatGPT or any LLM tool that you have worked with. And then I'm going to ask, what format is this time? So when working with automation, you want the time to be always in UTC. And for our luck, this is already a UTC time, correct? So we don't have to do a lot of manipulation. We just have to save it. But this is not a format that, InfoLobby is going to accept. So I'm going to say, convert this time into a single line PHP code to save into MySQL database. So when you say that, it's going to give you a line of code about how to convert it. See, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to a calendar and put it here. Now, instead of this particular hard-coded thing, I'm going to go ahead and then grab the actual data that we want to grab, which is inside the data variable. So if you look at here, inside the data, there is payload. So I'm going to call this payload. And then within that, what do we want? We need start time. So this is the start time, all right? If you want to test it, you can just click run, and now you will see that start time is properly formatted in here. Perfect. And then I'm going to create a new variable this time and then call it end time. Copy the whole code, put it here, and now instead of start time, we are going to be using end time. Great. Now we have got the body variable, we have got the start time, and we have got the end time. Now, one other thing we need is the title. We need some sort of title to put it into InfoLobby. So where is the title? So if you look at the data, title is within the payload as title. So we're going to repeat the same process and grab the title. And in here, we're just going to take the data. We're going to say payload, and then we're going to say title. At this stage, you can simply run another test to see if you're getting all the information. We did get the end time, we did get the start time, and then we did get the title as well. Everything is good. Now, we want to save information only when a booking is created. Remember, in the meeting type, we are only receiving booking created. But here, this is a ping, which means it's test. So we don't want a new record to be created for every single event. So first, let's create an if condition to check what is the type of the event. So I'm going to go ahead and create a if condition by expression. And then I'm going to call data. Within data, we're going to call trigger event. So I'm going to do this. And we only want this to work when the event type is booking created, like this. Okay. So what you can do is that there is going to be like a helper function somewhere here, and you see what is the wording they're using. It's called booking created. This is how it's going to look like. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it here. So I only want something to be saved when the event type is booking create. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and then create a new record, and the table name is calendar. Perfect. And then add a field. We'll add the title, we'll add the start time, we'll add the end time, and I'm not going to do type or anything. For title, we do have our title variable. Start time, we do have our start time variable, and end time, we do have an end time variable. This is great. And then there's another little option here called do you want notification? I generally do not want notification when a meeting is created, so I'm going to check this. But if you would like a notification, you can leave it unchecked. Actually, for this testing purpose, I'll leave it unchecked. Save. Now the whole thing is done. If I go back and create another ping test, you will get 200 here. We'll go to cal.com, and then we will see the logs. You can see that a new one has come in. But if I go into the actual calendar, you will see that nothing is saved because it was ping. Okay. Now to demonstrate this, if I change this from booking.com and make it ping, and then go in here and try another ping, and then go into calendar and refresh, you will see that the test trigger event is created. So we don't want that. Let's go back and make it booking created. Great. Now it's time to test. I'm going to go to InfoLobby, go back here. At September 1 at 9 o'clock, I would like a meeting. So I'm going to click on 9 a.m. and then I'm going to click confirm. Once it is done, oh yeah, because it's a dummy email, they need a real email. So I'm going to put in a real email over there and then click confirm. So you can see that the meeting is scheduled. Now, if I go back to our calendar, you can see that on 1st, an InfoLobby meeting has come through. So that is all it takes. You grab the webhook, you try to understand where the data is in. Is it in the get? Is it in the post? Is it in the body? If it is in the body, you decode the data and then put it in the right place. And depending on what conditions you want. In our case, the condition was that I only want a meeting to be created when a booking is created. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.